Take one. I think I can be pretty safe in saying this, that we know about God's love. Indeed, you and I know about it through the symbols of God's grace and His presence. If you are a church-attending person, we have those symbols through His Word, through His sacraments like baptism and Holy Communion, and even through the fellowship of His people. And that's where it is that this particular person, Jesus, is seen. In fact, we hear it again and again and again throughout all the seasons, especially at Christmas and Easter, as we hear that old story each and every year. Indeed, we know about God's love. But my question to you is, do we truly know His love? Well, sometimes when I was a teacher with my fourth graders, I would teach the kids about something by explaining its opposite, explaining the thing that is in opposition to it. And for God's love, the thing that is in opposition is found in a term in 1 John. It's the Antichrist. Now, before you go off running with your hands in the air, screaming and yelling, too often we think of this term in regards to the book of Revelation and the end times. But did you know that the term Antichrist is not found in Revelation? It's only found in the first and second letter of John, his first and second epistle. And so instead of thinking of this end time boogeyman, I want you to think of the Antichrist as being any action or attitude that is warped by this world's thinking, that is warped by this world's understanding. And indeed, we even find that in the church. Oh yes, we might speak the faith. However, sometimes people think that if they say God bless you, they're witnessing. And oh yes, we exchange pleasantries with one another, whether it be here at church or out in the community. But even then, we might have a smile on our face and a joy in the words that we say, but there's an extra strangle to the grip. And yes, we even love our neighbor in first article kinds of ways. We might mow their lawn. We might give them a ride to the doctor's appointment. We might even take them over a hot meal when they're sick. Yet the question is, how often are we found lacking in second article love? The love of Jesus Christ that He showed as He went to the cross for us. How often are we found lacking in that thing called forgiveness? Instead of confessing our sin and seeking mercy, we try to excuse or justify ourselves why we acted a certain way. Or instead of sharing words of forgiveness to somebody who needs to hear them, instead we tell them, we'll wait and see if their behavior changed. And then in addition to that, how often do we find out in the church, or we see happening in the church, where there's criticism being said about somebody on the side, in secret and private in their holy huddles? Or there's negativity that's happening out in the parking lot. Some say that after you finish the meeting, the real meeting happens in the parking lot. Or the innuendos and aspersions that are cast, as long as you are talking to like-minded people. That is the spirit of the Antichrist. And it is alive and well in the church today, whether it be in our local churches or whether it be in our national church bodies. That is the place where Satan wants to infiltrate. It's where he burrows in deeply, grabs a strong hold, and poisons from within. Indeed, the Antichrist is troubling. That's the first take.